Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first, like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
18.
16?
18. We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
Yeah, this was almost didn't happen. Well, welcome. It was almost
You're welcome.
Almost hiatus number 2 within as many weeks.
Miracle on fucking 69th Street.
I know, seriously. And it's a little brisk outside.
I know.
Another outside
nice.
recording.
It's nice to hang out. Another outside recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Compliments of the La Casa Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this one's cool, and I know everybody's gearing up for Thanksgiving, but this is something that has been requested by one of our VIP Patreons.
He's one of the rich guys.
He's one of the supers.
Yes, and the supers.
Yeah.
He's been requesting it for a little while now.
Good while, yeah, and we appreciate his patience, but also his support. It's for
sure.
Jaden.
You the man, dog.
And this is, if you guys don't know, we have a Patreon. And in that Patreon, the highest status that you can get to is called the rich person.
Yeah, this is the premier status.
Yeah.
This is like ultimate flight. You get like 10,000 sky miles.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you subscribe.
So on this, as part of your support, you get to select your own episode. And so he has selected this episode, and we've been working on it for a bit, and it's living in a simulation.
Yeah,
that's the
AKA
topic.
the Matrix, but in real life.
Right.
But there's no Neo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No powers.
I'm Neo.
So
the whole time he's like, yeah, fuck it.
So on this one, I really want you to put on your deep hat. You know, like we're gonna talk deep concepts.
Double tinfoil.
Yeah, this is like extreme concepps. This is not a murder mystery. This is very, it's very out there, philosophical.
Oh, I mean, it also like
typical conspiracy.
Yeah,
it's also one that like shatters the realities of everything that you think is like real. So it's like everything you've believed in your entire life is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
and that's why we like it. That's why we believe in it.
It's a hard pill to
You got to
swallow.
question everything.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. That's right. So,
I'm not even here right now.
Now, obviously,
I set my AI to do this.
Now, obviously, this theory gained traction when The Matrix came out. Like that.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
For
that.
sure.
And if you haven't seen The Matrix, then you're super.
You're
dumb.
not
doing?
here. Like,
Yeah.
what-
Definitely don't see
you
the
are
last
part
one,
of
though. That last one was trash.
Oh, it was
I couldn't even get through it.
bad.
I
It was
know.
terrible.
I watched 10 minutes of it. I couldn't
It's
get through
trash.
It just like ruined everything for me. I'm like, why? Thanks for like ruining ruining the franchise.
But did you like all three of the first ones?
I love
like
the first one.
and the second.
The first one was amazing. The second one was okay. Then they started getting too
Right.
Oh, and the key maker and the fucking architect and the. I'm like, okay, they're getting a little too deep.
Vis-a-vis, donde está me, you, back and forth in the Matrix.
Dude, I literally had to watch that scene like 17 times. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? He does say vis-a-vis that.
Yes.
He does.
He's just sitting there in his fucking white beard.
I know, with like 8,000 computer screens. I'm like, okay.
I don't think I still get it.
I don't
really get it.
I really don't.
Yeah.
It's not like when...
It's like one of those... what's that movie?
The Christopher Nolan movie?
Yeah.
Fucking,
But
Tenet?
What's the one that like a dream within a dream?
Inception.
Yeah.
No, and that's part of this too. Is living in a dream world. That's a theory where it's not necessarily. Anyways, we'll get into it. Yeah, we'll get into
That's
it.
what we're
You'll
doing.
see.
It's time.
Yeah. Okay, so over the past few hundred years, a question has arisen that would shake the reality of all of us, of all mankind. Is our world real? Or are we living in some sort of augmented reality simulation? The simulation hypothesis, first introduced in its modern form by philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003. And that suggests that our reality might not be the ultimate reality. Instead, we could be living inside an advanced computer simulation, one constructed by beings, either us and or other beings that are technologically capable that we can't even comprehend yet.
It's like somehow we're in like we're all like in the original like IBM computer that like NASA used. They're like, wait, fuck the moon. What if we just put everybody in the simulation?
So this idea at first glance sounds like science fiction, but as we dig deeper, the story of simulation becomes a tale of philosophy and of science and the limits of human perception. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back a little bit
To the beginning.
and find out maybe there were philosophers of the past who also thought of this.
Like similar.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you look, I mean, even if you everyone's always kind of like tertiary or like all like very similar tracks to like all like the same conclusions. They're all like very close, but yet they're even being so close. Like even if you look at all religion, for example, like use that as a basis. Like most of it is around the same core tenets.
Yeah.
You know, be good, fucking live a good life, and then
But also like a celestial being or like a god.
yeah, some
or,
sort of
you know,
supreme being. Exactly.
Yeah, supreme being or something. But I've never really heard from the past.
Here we're
simulation.
Here we're gonna go.
I like that.
Copernicus.
Yeah. let's dive into
No,
it.
so the story begins thousands of years ago with ancient philosophers pondering the nature of our very existence.
Yes.
Who are we? What are we? Where are we?
That was like
what
the,
are we doing?
The golden age of being a philosopher.
Yes. In ancient Greece, Plato presented his famous story of the cave around 380 BCE. In this thought experiment, prisoners are chained into a cave. They're facing a wall. They see only the shadows that are cast by objects behind them. Mistaking these shadows for reality, Plato's cave is an early metaphor for the idea that what we perceive may not be the actual truth.
Oh, I see. So maybe he's okay.
Tracking?
Yeah. So like on a rudimentary scale, that is the same thing. Like same concept of like, hey, maybe what we're seeing may not be what actually is occurring.
That's right. So you're tracking. So
but
the test. It's like a
sure.
It's not a science test. It's a philosopher's test.
Yeah, it's a philosophy
right?
test.
It's different.
Yeah.
So they put prisoners in a cave. I don't know why they're prisoners, but they put
why can't there be people?
Yeah,
Like,
they put
dudes.
people in a cave and they make them face the wall. And then there's different shadows and lights in a cave, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever you make in the background, then they kind of are perceiving as real on the wall.
Okay.
But in reality, it's just an illusion and it's not real. So then the question then becomes, what's real?
Okay.
But like even so, like what is like how do you even define reality? Reality is like what you perceive to be real for you. Like,
But also,
what's real to you
What's
is real to
real
you.
in your space is your reality. So like,
but it's also not just like what you see. It's like what you can touch. Like all senses, touch, smell,
no,
whatever.
There's all sense of even like perceptions that aren't like tangible perception. Like you
So
know, like
so
you
even
can,
like that
perceive-
sounds like a cool little experiment. Okay, fine, and you can like, you know, create an effect and this and that. But like,
I mean, this is also in like 330 BC, so it's like, they had limited resources.
they didn't have the VR goggles.
I know, right? Exactly. Like no fucking PlayStation.
throughout history, many thinkers have wondered whether the world we see is real or just an illusion. While they didn't have the idea of a computer simulation at that time, their ideas often questioned whether what we experience is the whole truth, that we see it and that we can touch. Yeah?
You can't handle the truth.
In ancient China, the philosopher Zhuangzi, which is in around 380 BCE, same kind of time period, he told a story about dreaming that he was a butterfly. When he woke up, he wasn't sure if he was himself dreaming of being a butterfly,
or if he was a butterfly.
If he was the butterfly dreaming of being Zhuangzi.
It's so funny. It's like he's a butterfly, but what if it's like, oh man, the simulation is so superior to my actual life? He's like, I'll live for 2 more weeks in the real world.
So when I was writing this, I was like, okay, how do I give an example of like similar, whatever. Okay, so here's the idea. The idea is that I have a dream. Yeah, I go to bed. I have a dream, and the dream is me as a hippo. I'm a hippo. Yeah. I'm a hippo in the dream, and I drinking water at the pond. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then I wake up, and I'm like, holy shit, I was a hippo.
Eric calls it. Yes, you have no idea what just happened.
But then the question is, am I really the hippo dreaming about Eric? Or did I dream about the hippo? Do you get it?
Yeah.
But it's like
fucking crazy.
Yes. But like, what happens like when you're on like a late night bender and you get like 3 hours of sleep? You're like, I'm only a hippo for 3 hours.
Isn't that wild?
I'm only in the real world for 3 hours.
That means every time I'm the hippo dreaming of this life of Eric.
Well, I think it would be different if this Zhuangzi guy or if you or if anybody like had a persistent dream that's always the same.
Mm-hmm. Right. I was going to say, are you a hippo
scenario.
Just once or like you're
because
always a hippo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I'd be like, maybe
that
we're
starts to
onto
mess with you
something
if you're
here.
always the hippo and like.
Yeah. Then you fucking are the hippo.
Yeah.
Another one, a Greek philosopher named Pyrrho of Elis, in similar time period, he believed that we can never really know what things are like. He thought our senses are playing tricks on us and that we should avoid assuming that we understand what reality is. And this theory that he put forward connected to the idea that we might not see the full picture, such as living in a simulation. So his concept was that, like, for example, the blind person has a different reality than Jorge.
Yeah, of course, because their
senses are not.
Yeah, but their other senses are probably heightened to a point where there's things that they experience that we can't experience.
Correct.
For example, it's like, take like a dog whistle. Like, do you really hear it?
No.
Does that mean that it's not real?
Right. Correct.
Do you see the fucking air molecules bouncing, smashing off your face? Does that
So
mean
like
that
if a tree falls in the forest.
Well,
yeah, right?
Did it happen?
Did the bear take a shit?
Or like you
Well, may never know.
Wipe his ass with rabbit.
Another good example is wind.
Okay.
You can feel wind.
That's true.
You can see the effects of wind.
Yeah, but you can't
But can you
physically.
see
You can't
wind?
physically but it's still at least you. I guess what it is like anything that you have any sort of perception about. Like for example, like I mentioned, like the air molecules, you can't see them, but we're obviously breathing. So
Right.
like that, the perception, like okay,
But
that's
we're
a perception.
deducing that based on the evidence of the cause of that thing, right?
Well, we're able to perceive. You're able to electron microscope and see molecules. So
Yeah,
that
true.
that is proven. But back in the hizzy,
Yeah.
in the BCs,
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Pyrrho of Ellis.
Yeah.
that whole
It was like,
concept.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Is this really pita
Yeah,
bread?
yeah.
Or is this not?
Okay, good. So in Buddhism, that arose around the 5th and 4th century BCE. And in Buddhism, now I'm not going to go into a lot of it, and I'm summarizing it in a paragraph, and I don't want to, I don't want to upset. Yeah, I don't want to pretend like I'm giving you a full description of Buddhism.
Right,
so
right.
I don't want it to. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
just
we
say,
want
this paragraph, and
we want
now
to stick
you
to
know.
the topic.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But we want to touch on the
exactly
Buddhism. Okay.
So in Buddhism, it teaches that the world we see isn't permanent and or completely real. And there's an idea called Indra's net, and it's from texts in Buddhism compiled around that 3rd century CE, which describes a web of jewels that reflect on each other endlessly. It's like imagining that everything is connected. similar to how things might work in a similar or simulated reality.
Of jewels?
So now this is kind of interesting.
Almost like refraction of light, like almost like imagine like a projector is like shooting. I mean, imagine Jules, light goes through Jules, and like you get like, or like look at
all kinds of like weird prism
and like reflection of what you're already seeing there, and maybe it's distorted a tiny bit and it's different over there, but over here it's not. And then it's just imagine a big wall of mirrors and diamond mirrors.
Right.
Because there are no mirrors really. I mean, are there mirrors back then? I don't know. But they use diamonds as the main reflector.
It's
right?
It's like homie from fucking the Marvel movies, the Doctor.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, like Doctor Strange. Maybe like there's like the mirror realm, the fucking prison realm, like, but it's like all different reflections of a same like it's almost like alternate reality theory. It's like there's different realities, but they're like mirrors of each other.
Okay.
So in 515 BCE, a Greek philosopher named Parmenides.
I think people tune in just for you having pronounced hard names.
Parmenides, thought that nothing ever really changes and that what we see as movement or difference is an illusion. This is like the idea of a simulation where things might seem dynamic, but are really controlled by unseen rules that we don't know those rules.
Okay.
I mean, like, shit. Getting deep. I'm like, nothing really changes. Well, why am I getting fat and slow? And like, I'm changing for the worse.
No, but I'm assuming the example is that, for example, we know gravity exists. Correct. And gravity is a rule in our world. It's a law. Yeah. But what if we didn't know gravity was real and we didn't know what gravity was? And if that's a law, then we think there's.
Oh, but he's saying that, but it's going to be there regardless of whether you believe it or know it. Or not.
And we just don't know the rules.
That's true.
Like gravity came up later on as a law, and now we have a little bit more understanding of
I see what you're saying.
The laws of the universe, but then maybe not. And so that means there could be other laws that we're unaware of.
Completely unaware of. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. There was another ancient thinker named Plotinus, and it was 250 CE. He believed in layers of existence.
What's CE?
CE is basically after.
It's like AD.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like,
It's an after. Basically, it's a bit of a long story, but there was AD and BC, and it was before, or it wasn't, there was a Latin term for it.
It's a Latin.
But essentially, it was the date that separated the birth of Jesus. And then they realized that history shouldn't be
based off of a religious doctrine. So
that's right. So then they changed it to BCE and CE.
Yeah, I did. Oh, okay. I knew about BCE. Then, like recently, my daughter told me about that. I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah. I'm like, I only know about BC. Like, what is this shit?
BC and after BC, baby. That's all we know.
And then, I only know BC and AD. Come on now. Anyways.
Yeah, and so CE essentially means common era.
Yeah, and BCE is before common era?
Yes, correct.
Yes, that's what she was telling me.
And so that has changed to avoid religious connotation.
Yeah.
Before, it was BC and AD, which was religious related. Yeah. Okay. Cracking a little bit?
Yeah.
That's a very short answer. I would suggest.
Yeah.
You should go to your local scholar to get more information.
Or AKA your ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What are we? We're 3 high school diplomas.
Yeah, that's all we got for you.
Very thin high school diplomas.
Very loose experience here.
Yeah. I don't want to tell anybody my GPA.
I had a surprisingly good GPA.
Yeah. Well, you're the curve that swings us up.
I know. On the bell curve.
So I'm like, what's GPA?
Well, when they changed it used to be religious. The JPA, Jesus point average.
Wait. So we're in the middle of talking about Plotinus.
Yeah.
So he believed in the layers of existence. Yeah. So at the top was the ultimate reality, which he called the One.
Ooh.
Below that,
Matrix is definitely pulling this shit from this guy.
Below that were levels of less real worlds, including the physical world we live in. And this idea feels kind of like the concept of a base reality beyond simulation. So It's pretty complicated and deep, but it's essentially that there are multiple realities and multiple levels of reality.
So almost going back to like what we were talking about, the dream within a dream, like layers of realities, like basically what you just said. Yeah.
I guess
that makes a little more sense.
If you achieve like higher states of existence, you then gain access to
well, like higher
different
states
versions
of
reality.
awareness, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, think of it like that. Yeah. Imagine.
Maybe.
Imagine it's like
Yeah.
you know as. Imagine like your lifespan, and as you gain more awareness through life, more knowledge and more understanding of what's going on, you become aware of things that you weren't normally aware of before, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get life beats you down, and then you just become completely like blank to like what's happening around you. Like the people that, you know, you see having like the worst day of your life, and like you don't even see like a car that's coming to hit you. Yeah. Like you're just not. You're like that low on the awareness level that you're like, ugh.
Yep. Okay, and then another Greek philosopher. Man, the Greeks really went hard on this.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile, the Spartans were training for war. The Greeks are like, what the fuck are we doing here, dude?
Heraclitus. I'm sorry. Heraclitus. I'm sure he would have loved that. He was another Greek philosopher, and he said that everything is always changing, but that a hidden order called the logos guides it all. This hidden order is like the code in a simulation that controls how everything works. This is very much like the Force.
Okay. Yeah.
That there's some sort of hidden
there's a
energy,
a balance.
Yes, there's some sort of thing that binds us. That
it's like Lord of the Rings.
Yes, like
one ring to see them all.
It is funny though to see that a lot of our stories and a lot of our lore of pop culture now really comes from the Greeks and philosophy of the past. You know, if you really wanted to, you know, it's kind of like telling a story.
Deep dive, yeah.
It's like telling a story through generations, and then all of a sudden you get Darth Vader with the Force, and, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, there's a reason. There's also a reason why people gravitate to those types of movies, because like you know, it makes and like on a inherent level, kind of makes sense in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like some sort of a subconscious awareness.
Yeah,
you draw
exactly.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, damn, this sounds legit.
Yeah.
It's not the powers or the lightsabers. It's it's the philosophy.
Okay, in the 14th to the 16th centuries, the Aztecs, they believed life was like a dream. They talked about Tezcatlipoca, which was the god of mirrors, who showed how reality and illusion are connected. They thought we could wake up and understand deeper truths, much like escaping the simulation, if you were able to see what the mirrors showed.
I mean, the Aztecs were also into like human sacrifice and shit. So
Aztecs were wild.
like those guys were like on some other next level shit.
Yeah, the Mexicans are making the most sense to me. This makes the most sense to me.
Jorge's like, this is correct.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Accurate.
Yeah. Then we move over to Persia. The Persian philosopher, I can't even say it, Ibn Sinu, imagined a person floating in empty space with no senses, even without seeing, hearing, or feeling. The person would know that they exist. This suggests that our sense of self doesn't depend on the physical world and the physical universe, but the sense and the feeling of knowing.
You just know.
You just know, meaning you don't need to smell to know you're there.
Yeah, that you
don't need
exist.
to see to know you're there. So that means something else knows you're there.
So just like a flowing conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
your consciousness is like aware that you are existing.
So that idea is that the physical world you're not tied to know that you're real.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah. And that's Persia.
All right, Persians, what's up? I knew I liked you guys.
Ibashinu?
Yes.
That's what it sounded like.
Absolutely.
To the moon, baby.
To the moon. Boop coin to the moon.
Boom coin, baby. The true perception. Boom coin.
How does it always go back to boob coin?
Because I'm telling you,
I don't know. I love it.
It's the future.
You gotta do it.
Eric's gonna be a billionaire and be like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
I
you
know,
thought
right?
you were laughing at my ass before."
Seriously.
And
We're like, no, this happened on the podcast.
I'm gonna
this
check.
is this all of
I'm
us.
gonna check boob coin on Tuesday. If that shit is up, I swear, our listeners are not taking financial advice.
I know this is not financial advice. All proceeds go to the corporation, Eric.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we fast forward to 1641 for a French philosopher named Descartes. He introduced the concept of a deceptive demon.
Okay.
He wondered, what if an evil demon is manipulating our senses, making us believe in a world that doesn't exist? While he ultimately concludes that the act of thinking proves one's own existence, the seed of doubt still remains. Could our reality be an illusion? So he started with, is there an evil demon making us do bad things and making us pretend that we don't know the real world? But then he realized that
he's
the act of thinking in itself, the awareness of thinking, proves that we exist.
I actually like that because, like, I mean, I think that's the most probably agreed upon principle that, like, you know, the ability for like thought or consciousness
proves it.
Denotes reality. That's why, like, I don't think, the whole Terminator theory, like they become sentient.
Yeah,
I can't imagine ChatGPT being able to have conscious thought because it's like a program.
Well,
like,
I don't mean to
unplug the program.
Elon Musk talks about like that's inevitable. Yeah. He also believes in this theory. I think
it's coming. Yeah,
I think
we'll talk about it in a second.
Okay,
yeah, whatever.
But I don't
idiot.
I'm not trying to be dark either. But along this line, have you ever seen somebody pass away?
Not like physically.
Physically in front of me pass away?
The moment they
No.
depart.
I have not.
Okay.
Luckily.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the spark or the, you know what I mean? I don't know what you call it. The thing.
The life.
Yes, the act of thinking. Maybe it's a thinking thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And that goes away, and you can see it going away.
Yeah, because even if somebody doesn't pass away, like if they're like just super unconscious, like something brain dead, let's say, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
There's not that much life there,
No.
Like that thinking is not there.
You can see the difference between
for sure, yeah.
like the black and white of life is still existing to life is gone.
Okay. Oh yeah,
it's
for
expired.
Sure.
Yeah,
right? You mentioned thinking. That's why I was saying.
Yeah.
And like
I get
obviously,
it,
there could be degrees of life.
Yeah, because I mean, I definitely subscribe. I think you guys are probably on the same page. Is that, I don't think that the human body is the encapsulation of life.
Yeah,
right.
I think there's some sort of driving energy force that's animating it, and that's where the thought and the consciousness is derived from.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah, like you're saying, like someone who's like brain dead, like there's fucking nothing happening there.
Yeah.
And this is not trying to be like, if you guys have this in your families, so I'm not trying to be rude. It's just our own views on this situation.
And it's also, we're trying to understand his, Descartes, his
philosophy,
his philosophy here. Yeah. So, okay, good. So moving forward, the Industrial Revolution happened, and what did we get? Machines.
Yeah, fucking trains.
And this is the rise of the computers and trains and industrial and,
combustion engines, baby.
Things that are operating after humans have built them on their own. Yeah. In 1936, British mathematician Alan Turing, he introduced the idea of a universal machine capable of performing any computation. This concept laid the foundation for modern computing and indirectly the simulation hypothesis. Because there's also a Turing test.
Yeah.
And
I thought I recognized the name. And now that you say that, what is that test again, though?
Well, so Alan Turing, from a pop culture standpoint, Benedict Cumberbatch played him in a movie called The Imitation Game.
The Imitation Game, where they were trying to crack the Enigma.
That's right. And so he was a code breaker. Oh, you'd love it. It's really good.
It's actually a really good movie. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be like lame. It was fucking good.
Yeah. Okay. And it's a really sad story because he cracked the German code. With his team.
The uncrackable.
Oh, I know which one that is. I didn't see it, but I know which one it is.
Yeah, and he was treated very poorly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Very poorly. And that's a sad...
Yeah, classic government assholes.
Yeah. That sucked.
Oh, thanks, bitch. That's our tech now.
But essentially, and in my opinion, he started the concept of computers.
Of course.
Essentially.
Okay. I mean, what he created in itself what a computer really is. It's the computing device. It's the device that they used to call, like if you've seen the movie Hidden Figures, they used to call the women who would be doing the calculations computers because they'd be computing equations. That's their job.
So he also developed a test, and this is a very bare bones description of the test, which is essentially to tell if something's human or a machine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember now.
And so, in theory, machines can't pass this test.
Oh, it's like the CAPTCHA.
In theory,
It's like the CAPTCHA thing.
Correct. Yes.
Point out all of the pictures that have a stoplight in them.
And
Machine.
I can't even fucking pass that shit.
I know. I'm like, it's so blurry. It's like,
So fast forward by the late 20th century, the digital age, full swing, video games, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. This was no longer science fiction. This is now our reality.
Yeah.
Games came out like The Sims. You ever heard of Sims?
Oh, yeah. I used to fucking play The Sims, bro.
It allowed players to create these virtual worlds for the first time where you create your own life. And all these other games that are even more in-depth than The Sims. And then the question then became, could our own world be that game?
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto Earth. Like, straight up. But see, the thing with those games is like those games, like you're the one controlling it, but you know, I'm in a simulation where I'm technically in control of my own play.
So we think.
Oh, it's like the guy's like, drink this LaCroix right now. I'm like,
I mean, have you seen that new The Nice Guy? No, not The Nice Guy. It was like a video game with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And he's an NPC, but everybody else is
but he's like, I got to go back to the bank. And
Anyways, in 1999, the movie Matrix came, brought the simulation hypothesis into mainstream. Nearly 2 decades after PCs and computing came into the world, the story of Neo, who discovers that his world is a full computer-generated illusion controlled by machines to get energy and battery life essentially out of humans, came out, and it was massive.
It was the shit.
Dude, it's like I every once in every like 6 months or so, I'll be like,
Same.
I was gonna give it a little look-see-look.
Same.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, and again, if you have not seen The Matrix, it's essentially a computer programmer who realizes, or at least there's a team of people who get him to realize that everything is a simulation and that AI and machines are creating this world that we are oblivious to just to get energy out of us.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah,
Like
harness power.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that. Yeah, the machines run the humans, and
Yeah.
Yeah, the humans are on
and,
these little,
and you're like asleep the whole time. See, but that's kind of like, I mean, it's a movie, but like whatever. Yeah, that's the gist of that movie.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're back to Nick Bostrom, which was at the beginning I talked about him in 2003. He was a philosopher that published a paper
he was like
titled "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" And Bostrom proposed a trilemma.
a trilemma. Oh my god! Not even just a dilemma. A fucking trilemma. I can't even handle that right now. Like, Jesus.
Now, this may take a moment for us to really understand, but he says at least one of the following statements are true.
But he's surmising this. It's like one of these are true, but I can't prove it at all.
Yeah. So, number one, advanced civilizations never reach the technological capability to create simulations of reality.
Well, we've already beat that.
Number two, advanced civilizations reach this capability but choose not to run simulations.
Oh, so this is why like one of them has to be true. Yeah.
Three, we are almost certainly living in a simulation. So what he's saying is one of those three has to be true.
Yeah, for sure. It's like nothing's happening, everything's legit.
So then that's the proposed, you know.
So it opens it up that like now it makes you think like, well, which one is it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was like running a simulation, would I really want? I guess maybe that's like if you really were in a simulation, that's part of the game. Like the fact that you can question if it's a simulation, they think they won't. They're not in a simulation because they can question.
It's almost like hiding in plain sight.
Exactly, like
plain truth.
Exactly,
lying through plain truth or whatever.
It's so good.
So his argument hinges on the idea of ancestor simulations. So if a civilization becomes advanced enough to simulate an entire world, it's likely they would create many such simulations. If so, the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the one base reality that you're living in.
Oh, so you would never know what is the truth?
That's right. So statistically, he says, the odds of us living in the base reality are minuscule.
But he's also basing this off the ability that we've achieved the ability to create it. Because the way he's phrasing it is as if we did it to ourselves.
Right.
This is not as it's like done like exterior to us.
Right.
So I think in his theory, I think we would all be.
Hey, Atlanta. Say hello to Small Business Help from Apple. That's right. We're here to make starting and running your business simpler. From helping you choose the right devices to setting them up hassle-free, we can help you build your business in no time. Speak to a business expert and get the help you need at no cost whatsoever. At Apple, we're open for your small business. Go to apple.com/small business or visit an Apple store to learn more.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful...
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
And unless we got so advanced and like we just grew up in this simulation of like fucking retard Earth, you know, like this is simulation, like, and they're like trapped in it, like don't even remember that there's something else outside of it. I don't know. Now I'm confusing myself.
Anyways, do you get the concept though, right? Statistically speaking, if they were able to make 1 trillion realities based on
your odds are a trillion to 1 to actually be in the base reality.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's the big if.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here are some of the things that possibly could be in this like part of this. Yeah.
So it's like if I made $1 trillion, like if I made $1 trillion, like Sydney Sweeney would be here right now.
It's theoretically it's possible.
Theoretically.
Somehow, some way. In a simulation, it's possible.
Theoretically.
Okay, so a couple of things. If our reality is a simulation, are there clues hidden within it for us to know that we are in that reality? Yeah.
Are we gonna get into like some of that shit? Because like there's some shit that happens that people have on camera that's like ultra sketch.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense.
So physicist Silas Bean suggested in 2012 that certain limitations in the laws of physics could be evidence of a simulated universe. Just as a video game has rendering limits, our universe might have constraints. For instance, the maximum speed of light or the granularity of space-time at the Planck scale.
But see, this is where I think that it's stupid because we're all basing this off of that we know we have a finite, complete, whole understanding of the laws of physics, which we don't. Like the concept that the speed of light is the fastest speed in the universe is ridiculous. Who just fucking made that shit? Einstein just made that shit up. Like, there's no way to prove that. Just because we don't have the technology doesn't mean that there's not a speed faster. So I always thought that was stupid that like they create these constants. Well, obviously they're mathematicians, they're scientists. They want a constant to base things off. That's why everything's based off the constant.
You're trying to figure out the equation, the
if you look,
variable.
E equals mc squared. Like C stands for constant, which is the speed of light squared. So like they had to make a constant in order to make the math work.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the speed of light. That doesn't mean that's a law of physics. It's not a like who's.
That's all we know.
It's so fucking conceited to be like, oh, it's a law. It's a fucking law. Like you don't fucking know, bro. Like, sorry.
Well, it works though.
Like
when you use that.
Yeah, it allowed them to make the math work.
Right.
You can make the math work around it now that you have something to base it off of. Otherwise, it's all theoretical shit, and like you can't fucking do anything.
So they make the math work, or does the math work? Like, is
the math works?
Is the math the math? Like, it's supposed to be pretty.
Well, that's the next part, which is that's apparently another clue, which is that our universe, everything is operating based on mathematical principles. But some speculate that our reality might be the output of a computational process built by a computer.
Oh, it's like we're part of an algorithm? Like we're part of the algo?
Wow.
Like,
it's only mathematics. That's the only like universal language, I guess, that we operate on. And so then they go, oh, well, then of course, that's how you build a video game.
Right.
So good.
Exactly.
That's a fucking great point.
That is a
solid
very good point.
Like,
shit.
Like, damn, it's making shit.
Gotcha.
So,
I know, I'm like, I need a fucking White Claw.
They got us.
Damn it, we're in a simulation.
So a couple things about if we were to be living in a simulation, then there are questions that come up. Yeah, like who created it?
Yeah, like where's the cheat codes?
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
No, like, seriously.
So this question leads down the rabbit hole. Some argue that the simulators could be our future selves
All right.
or our future descendants.
So like back to Matrix style, like you're somewhere else. Yeah.
So it could be us.
Just playing.
It's just us fucking with ourselves.
There's a couple ones. So it could be us. Like literally you.
Yeah.
In 50 years. Okay. Hear it out. Yeah.
Why do you have to be in the future though?
I know. What is this? Is this like?
No,
here's what happened. Like our wives are all pissed at us, and they're like, they're going to the fucking simulation.
That's how I hear
no
it
wonder
out.
I lose every argument. God damn it! This is a simulation.
It's all recorded.
Exactly. What is he actually going to do when he's got free time?
She got that power up, that cheat code where you can never win.
I know, like
it's like that NBA 2K,
literally
like
infinite argument victory. Like, God damn it!
Why is she always on fire?
I know, seriously, she's always so fucking fast with that shit.
Okay, so one idea is it's us in the future. So hear it out. Some people say, some scientists say that in 50 years we will be able to live till we're 150.
Okay.
Tracking?
Okay.
Yeah, you tracking with that so far?
Sure.
Okay, good. So
not with all the fucking red 40,
I know,
like all the fucking Fruit Loops were dying.
But I
off
mean, the way technology is, like, if you were to
theoretically, yeah, because I
Yes.
mean, if you look back, if you can just do math about it, okay, what was the average life expectancy like 100 years ago?
and you do
like,
you do an exponential mathematic on it,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So okay, good. So that means essentially you will be around for another 100+ years.
Right now?
No, if
okay.
50 years,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you live to 150.
Okay.
You tracking?
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So what will our technology be? Will you be able to go back, control your
No way.
previous
0% chance.
reality?
Zero.
Do you know what I mean? Your
0%.
previous consciousness?
0% chance.
You know, that sort of thing. Yep.
Dude, look,
So that's one theory. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
There's no way that the technology scales that exponentially. No way.
I mean, Elon Musk already got chips going in your brain and shit.
There's a guy. Have you
allowing
seen?
you to
Hell
control?
no.
Have you seen the
shit
guy
with your thoughts?
We can barely
I
fucking
don't
get to
know.
other planets, let alone create a fucking fake
Hey,
universe.
he's almost
Like,
there.
There's a guy, I don't know, he's fucking
almost there.
Instagram or TikTok or
is.
something. He's super wealthy and he's totally determined to live to like 140. And he like wakes up, he's like a perfect
I know what you're talking about.
Like,
That guy, he looks like a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
He looks
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
He's super.
How old is he right
Why
now?
is he so pasty?
I think he's like 55 or something.
Wow, he
and
looks like fucking 29. I don't
But
know.
like, just imagine, it's kind of like Christian Bale and you know, he's like a
Psycho.
Yeah,
Or-
no, but
or
American
American
Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah.
his regimen is so like bizarre. He's like, I wake up and I fucking eat like 700,000 cheese seeds or some like fucking weird shit. I'm like, dude, I cannot fucking do that.
Yeah,
like,
and
I
then
don't
he
care.
does,
I just,
like,
let me
3.5
die.
hours.
Intravenous,
biohacking.
intravenous B12 for like 6 hours.
I know,
Just
like, like, how do you fund this?
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
Dude, you can't be having fun.
No,
anytime.
it sucks. It's like,
Can you imagine him having a Modelo?
He's like,
his body would just like
that's gonna take a month away from my life.
He goes into anaphylactic shock like instantly. His
know.
body's like, what the fuck?
Anyway, so that's the idea. That's the concept, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. The other concept is descendants.
Okay.
That makes more sense to me.
So,
Because I don't think like this type of tech would
200 years
would
from now or
realistically
whatever.
be
Yeah.
available until like long after
Yeah.
we're dead.
And then the other one is alien life forms.
Yeah, that's what I'm on. If it was happening, it would not be fucking us. Like, I mean, we're like a fart away from like nuclear war. Like, I mean, at all times, it's just like
so
one
true.
person like says some
At
like
all
other
times.
thing that's like it's toast.
Yeah.
It's got to be other people because there's no way that I don't think we would be doing this and
One
getting
vote away from pressing the nuclear.
Oh, man, it's like we're on the cusp of destruction fucking all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't even get along in our own country.
Yeah.
I mean, let alone like, let's come together, create a simulation. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But again, I mean, the dilemmas that exist on all of these theories are crazy, from ethical to logical to
there's
happen.
There's a lot of, that's why I'm saying it's got to be, if it's doing it's aliens, because there's way too much shit to overcome to fucking get to that conclusion.
But then there's also the concept of that it's not, well, would you consider AI robotics alien?
No.
Okay, so then there's the other theory, which is that
we create
very Matrixy.
Right. Or if you're saying that we got the tech, like, you know, like the huge tech boom that happened, you know, 60, 70 years ago, we got that tech from aliens. And that was like their plot, like, oh, we'll help you out, dog. Yeah, no problem. Here's some fucking microchips, player. and then they're like, idiots.
Got them. We got like bait and switched by
I know, they're like
a used car salesman alien.
Well, in the contract, it clearly states in the fine print that this shit will take over.
Yeah, give him this nice brand new Kia.
Got bait and switch.
Yeah. I can only afford $400. I got you, fam.
23-year loan.
Yeah, very low interest.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Here's this Telluride. Looks like a Range Rover. Take it.
I know it looks like a Range Rover.
I swear.
So all of this takes a massive leap of faith. Despite the skepticism, the simulation hypothesis has gained traction among even some of our brightest minds. Elon Musk famously stated,
Sean hates him apparently.
I love Elon Musk. I just don't think that he's the smart dude, but he's not fucking that smart.
So he says,
who's smarter?
Nobody.
Exactly.
We cannot.
No, I said who's smarter.
No one is.
That's my point.
But he's not smart enough to do that, bro.
The simulation or the what?
Yes, the simulation.
Oh, okay.
It's like, you know, can you imagine the computing power necessary to fucking operate that shit? Dude, it's like on a scale that is far beyond our fucking wildest dreams. Mm-hmm. It's on such a like you would need like a country full of fucking servers. Like fucking, you'd have to like requisition Taiwan and like just make the whole fucking country damn, because they're kind of they're not that big, and they make chips.
Take it over.
They make chips and shit there anyway, so it's like
like a
fucking win. It's a win-win.
It's like
perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah. But what Elon Musk said was the odds of us not living in a simulation are 1 in billions.
How is he? What's the math behind that?
Because of that mathematic of if there was a civilization that created an augmented reality, then they could create infinite augmented realities. Mm-hmm. And so then you have 10 trillion augmented realities, and then to assume that we're in the base reality is low on that mathematical scale.
Yeah, but it's all
but that's a big if.
It's all like
that's a big if.
It's all like crazy theoretical postulation. That's like I could make up some shit like that for real and like confuse the shit out of you too. Well, if like, come on.
Okay, so some conspiracies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, not that we didn't go over.
Not that this whole fucking thing is a damn conspiracy.
Yeah. So a common conspiracy theory tied to this simulation theory is that our reality is controlled by the top elite. Whether or not those are like
Elon Musk.
No, well, part of it is just imagine, say the top, I don't know, say the top 10 bad guys or whatever. Yeah. They have Captain America-like skills, meaning they're a little bit advanced.
Okay.
So they have just a little bit more than us, and then they're controlling us through this alternate reality.
But like, are we like asleep somewhere? And like,
but I'm saying, like, how do you?
They're testing. So there's experiments going on, etc., of psychological, environmental, etc. Where
so we're like in the beta test, like fucking Earth beta test right now.
There's another one where some theorists speculate that Earth might be a prison planet, some sort of purgatory where souls are sent to learn lessons or atone for their past actions.
That strikes a chord.
Entertainment, the simulation could be like a massive game, you know, like the where you're hunting man. You ever see those movies?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. It's like, all right, brother, it's gonna be 10,000 galactic credits to go down the fucking Earth and just nuke her the fuck you want.
That's right. So there's a lot of different conspiracies about hidden people essentially trying to control humanoids.
Right.
Essentially. Yeah.
But these people are all from another planet.
No, these are the people within our own planet
okay.
who are some sort of power elite who have, they've injected themselves with like a superpowered Ozempic. Just imagine. Do you know what I mean? Like,
fit as fuck.
Yes, exactly. Actually, like just imagine. That's like a silly, like like weight loss thing.
Yeah.
But just imagine that skill was age.
Yes.
Or
they created they came up with some technology.
Yes.
That,
almost like that
kept it off
Limitless
the books.
pill from that movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like a shot that makes you immune to cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just like
like,
or like something. Maybe they unlock. We did the whole genetics thing. Maybe they were like, oh, we actually figured out how to unlock a couple more of them genes.
Yeah,
and you can get you're smarter, you're faster,
stronger,
I don't know. But then,
live longer.
But then again, I'm like, is it part of the simulation that most of these billionaires are just like fat old dudes? Like it'd be different if they were all like Chris Hemsworth. I'd be like, okay, something's afoot.
True.
Although, if we're gonna get into the conspiracy of like evil people controlling the planet, I feel like we don't know their names.
Oh, you're true. Yeah, there's.
So that makes sense.
I do feel like there's people that are like they're not on like the Forbes list.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm gonna know the baddest person on TikTok.
100%.
Like from like some guy made a TikTok video and it's like, oh, he's the leader of the planet. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't feel
I'm sure
upset.
he like paid a lot of money to be like,
Not on your For You page.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no fucking wiki like WikiLeaks on him.
So another theory is, and it's a pop culture kind of theory, and it's associated with the Matrix, but it's that there are glitches in the Matrix.
There are, dude. Some of the shit. I'm sure you're gonna get into it. Some of the shit's fucking wild.
So, and this also ties into another episode we did called the Mandela Effect.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Right. So the idea is that
programming error. They're like, change it back.
Correct.
Now.
So if you've ever been into gaming, and you'll go, I don't know, let's just take Halo as an example. If
you can like you can like get in a place where you can't get out. You're like below the floor.
Yeah,
and they're like right there. You're like, fuck you.
Glitches. There's glitches in the flooring and the rendering, and with the gravity.
You're like
coding
stuck in
and stuff
between,
like that.
yeah. You jump off a building or something. You're just stuck in the air.
Yeah. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Is that's how we know that it's a system, because there are so many deja vu things or so many like glitches or like
you see the ones that
like deja vu is weird.
Yeah,
that shit trips me out,
dude. It really, and like it's a lot of times.
Like,
a lot of times when I experience it, I'm like I don't know when or what, but I'm like this moment feels
right. Like
fucking
I'm
sketchy.
like I consider myself like pretty sharp. Like okay, like I know I've been here. But I can't remember, but I know I have. But like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
They changed something.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
All right.
But
maybe,
what about
maybe
like,
that's what it
what
is.
about like the glitches where like they'll have like a bird who's like flying? This is like fucking not moving in there, and they're like, what the fuck? And they're like live filming, or like a plane that's like not moving.
So
no, a plane I could see because they're like so high up, and like it doesn't seem
does not work that way. That's not the way that like physics works.
We posted a video. You would have to go really far back into our Instagram.
That's what I was thinking.
But where it's a plane, stuck.
But
you remember that video?
But that is like a fucking prop plane. That's not like a fucking. It's not like
a jet. Or
no, it's not like a passenger plane. 20,000. Motherfuckers. I could probably like shoot it with a gun. Like it's like that. It's not.
But
that
the birds.
Bird.
You can't explain that. I don't know.
Here's my problem though: is anything that I see on a video, I don't believe is real.
Yeah.
But if you and I were,
you know, Eric's like, oh well, why aren't there better UFO videos?
Exactly.
But if it was on a video, you don't believe it anyways.
I posted
you put yourself in like a situation where you won't believe it.
I posted a video on Instagram and I was like, this is kind of sketch, but I'll post it anyway. That one about the
it's like 10,000 likes or some shit.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we got some views though.
I know. Eric's like, I'll allow it this one time.
I think in the future, I think in the future you just say this is not Eric approved.
Okay.
Like you can post it all the way, but at the bottom like tag it.
Eric's like got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, again, so I go back to: have you ever had an experience with somebody else where you both have experienced a deja vu moment
simultaneously?
Yeah. Where it's not like you're out and about and you're peeing in the golf course and then you're like, what? Crazy.
Last week.
But I mean, more like you're with somebody
in this bush all the time.
It's the same fucking bush.
You know, where you're with somebody and then you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Or
I don't
what
think-
is happening? I'm not saying UFOs, but just something
No,
that
I know what
doesn't...
you mean. I don't think so.
Yeah, I've never had a deja vu moment with like another. I've had a deja vu moment like with someone else involved, but they're not a party to the deja
Yeah.
vu. But
Right,
I'm like,
right,
what
same,
the fuck?
same.
What
Yeah.
about something that is not deja vu, but something that defies logic?
I told you about what I deemed
Yeah.
to be a UFO story.
Yeah,
I mean that.
yeah.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I cannot. I tried to rationalize the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Over the bridge?
I fucking could not do it.
Yeah, but that's more of like a UFO.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I know it's like
Yeah.
a UFO. It's not really the same thing, but that's all I got. Unfortunately,
I don't think so, man.
Anyways, there you go.
there are things that happen. I think that happens more often than we would know about.
I know.
like all the improbable, like things.
Yeah,
that,
you just kind of like brush it off too, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, you're
Like, you don't
"Oh,
really think about it too much.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, another theory is that AI has advanced so much that we don't know about, and we're just being run by AI.
Yeah, but where was AI like
Yeah,
fucking
but,
a few hundred years
Yeah,
ago?
but where was it? But when
No,
was?
but I mean now, like
No, but-
something happened in a recent time period where AI crossed a threshold, and we're being run now
Ever
by
since that
AI.
Eagle Eye movie came out?
Shia LaBeouf is the mastermind behind all of this. But my thing is like, when was it implemented? Like, if wouldn't
No.
just like, one day I woke up and I'm like, oh, everything looks the fucking same, and like AI's like,
Right.
bitch.
But you know how like Elon Musk and this other guy, the Bostrom guy, they warn of AI. They warn of the advancement of AI. So when would we know it's too far?
my thing with AI,
I don't think it would be a simulation thing. I think it'd be like a
yeah,
I
they
don't know,
would
you see fucking robots walking around and like
But
type
even
of thing.
still, that's it. You would just see robots, and you'd be like, "Oh, AI is too strong now."
I mean,
But see, the thing is, I can't ever, in the way I view things, I can't ever see AI becoming sentient and having a purpose. I think it would just be someone would have to give it some sort of goal, and it would like be like, okay, cool, I'll go outside the parameters of like normal activity to achieve this goal. But then once it's achieved the goal, it's not like, oh, I want a fucking sandwich now. And it's not gonna like be like, it's not just gonna like make a decision like, oh, it needs data, it needs input. Like that's why it can't actually be intelligent, because it's only taking data that exists already.
Yeah.
So if there's no more new data, it can't extrapolate new data.
but it is getting a
isn't-
bunch of new data.
But isn't that the point of AI? Is it's self-serving? Like,
Yeah.
it's creating its own data now because
no, it's
yeah,
not.
because all the interaction and all the data that people are feeding it
well,
right
no,
now.
it's giving synopsises based on the data that it receives. It's
but
not
it's learning from the new one too.
It's not creating the data though. It's using the data
Yeah.
and then giving solutions or answers based on that data. It's not creating. It's not like AI is gonna be sitting there one day and be like, wait, okay, like for example, it's not like imagine AI just came out first thing, doesn't know shit. It's not hooked up to the internet.
baby.
It's not gonna like see like a lighter fall off the table and be like, what the fuck is that?
right.
Is that maybe it's a thing that we're being drawn to the earth? It's not gonna like
Sure,
it's-
but
it needs-
that's not where it's
it-
at right now. Right now, it's already progressed. It's been learning from video, from images, from text, right? And if you give it a big enough goal, then it will start to think on its own. Like if you say, okay, I don't know, like take over the world or whatever for like some big
like
done.
God forbid some like 1,000-year plan.
Yeah, it's gonna start to figure out. It's
God
gonna
damn
start
it.
to figure out its own fucking thing, like along the way. Like, okay, let's say it needs access to the internet. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Okay, now I need access to whatever this passcode. I'm gonna start to try to break the passcode, or I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Like, there's obviously so many different things.
But once again, it's operating off of user input. Do this thing.
yes,
It doesn't have
100%.
It doesn't have its own determinism.
Yes.
It's not like deciding like
Yes.
I am
I do
going
agree.
to
I
do
do
this
agree.
thing.
I do
But
agree.
then why is like say Musk or this other guy Nick Bostrom? Why are they warning of it passing a point of no return?
Well, you know what?
Probably because they're like the government would be using it the wrong way, maybe.
No, but aren't they saying that it's going to get to a point where it will be?
Because to Sean's point, like you got to give it that goal.
Yeah. See, that's
initially.
why I think that's what I think they're really afraid of. I don't know if they truly believe that it'll become sentient. I think that what happens, it gets to a point where it's so powerful that one person gets access to the fucking the mothership of it, and it's like, okay, cool, destroy the power grid.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
It's going to figure out how to do it.
fucking fries everything. And it's like, and it sends us back to the fucking Stone Ages.
True.
So someone just prompts it and then it goes.
Yes. It gets like whoever like has like the main authority access.
You can already see a difference if you use ChatGPT and ask it any political shit, and then you use Musk's, I think it's called Grok.
Yeah, it's Grok.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
That one gives you a different answer.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
So, I think it could
Yeah.
be super abused, and you could use it to do anything. Like like I could be like, okay, ChatGPT, like you could eventually get it to manipulate. You can manipulate financial markets. You could do a lot of like heinous shit, but it would need to be prompted to do that, and then soon it'll be able to access so much data that you can't stop it from doing what it. Once it's like set out to do a thing, you can't fucking stop it from. It's gonna win.
Yeah. Terminator.
Very Terminator.
Yeah. What if someone's like, fire all the nukes?
Yeah.
Fire all the nukes.
True.
It gets so bad, it gets in.
Figure it out. Yeah.
It finds
like
it weasels
that
its
new
way.
Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, like it weasels its way into private networks, and then it's like
I mean, that basically is that new Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, that's what that fucking the submarine thing. Yeah, it's like oh cool, and it's like that's what I think the main fear is. The main fear is that it's not that it will do it on its own. It'll just won't be able to stop it from doing it.
So not that it's going to be like an Ultron situation where it's like all of a sudden Ultron is now the boss and he's like an AI created person. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a few others that are pretty much of the same vein. That it's like a cabal running the show.
Yeah.
And we're just pawns in that, system, etc.
Okay.
There's not really a lot of like evidence outside of it. Obviously, it's very theoretical.
Right.
But
obviously, it would be rigged so that you can't find it, find the evidence.
Yeah.
ChatGPT scrubbed my web history.
But there's a lot more that we could if we wanted to do more, and maybe in the future we will if we take a specific topic of simulation theory. You know what I mean? Going forward.
Yeah. And
maybe it's AI. Like if we wanted to dive into AI.
Cool. And I think my biggest fear with AI, I was never afraid of it being like Terminator. And obviously, like that thought is terrifying, but I don't think that could happen. My biggest fear is that Wall-E. Wall-E is my biggest fear.
True.
We become so dependent on it that no one learns anything, and we become so useless that eventually, if like shit goes to shut off, we're fucked as a race. Yeah. We can't survive. We don't know how to do anything. Like, do you know how to fucking build a motherboard? No.
We get so far away from the ability to build it.
No, dude, we couldn't build.
We get further and
it's
further
gonna get
away.
lost.
We couldn't build a car. I can't build
that tech.
I can't build a fucking any of that shit, dude. I can barely build a fire. Yeah. I'm like, damn it, the lighter's out of gas. We're fucked. We can't survive.
A funny parallel to that is kind of like going to the moon in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
meaning like we don't need to do that anymore.
But we
so
can't
nobody
do it
knows
anymore.
how to do it anymore
Exactly.
because we don't need. Or I mean, the technology has come so much further along.
There's a really great saying. I'm probably gonna like butcher it, but it's always stuck with me. And it's like hard times creates hard men.
Yeah.
Hard men create good times. Good times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Hard times. Yeah.
And it's like it's that concept of like
that.
we become so spoiled. And like, dude, I give this example to my wife all the time. I'm like, dude, if I didn't have GPS, I would not I could not get out of the city. I would leave the greater Tampa area and I'd be like, fucked. I have no idea what's happening. I'm like, is this the road? I have no idea where I am.
But
well, thankfully I grew up in the MapQuest.
I did the map thing
and
too.
the fucking maps.
Oh, you guys
Thomas
were like
Guide.
fucking Thomas Guide.
Thomas Guide.
Before that, fucking paper maps.
Yeah, the Thomas Guide's paper.
Thomas Guide was paper. It's like
map.
Thomas Guide?
It was
Oh,
like
I
this
thought you
big
were talking about
booklet.
It's like a
I thought you were
book.
talking about the first.
I know what
Remember,
you're talking about, yeah.
Was it called Tom's? Right?
I know what you're talking about.
It was like
It's
the first GPS.
I don't know what it was
that
called.
came out.
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's called
like a TomTom.
It might have been
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's what it
TomTom.
was. That's what it was.
But I don't know. All right, so and then on the last thing on this is, it's obvious that throughout everything that we went over, there's so much like philosophy / religion kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, since the beginning of time, we've always been trying to figure out like give meaning to like existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand like you need to find, it's like almost like finding your purpose in life. And obviously things have changed where like back then I think it was more like, why the fuck are we here? And then now
you just start to question everything.
Yeah, you become accustomed to like life and you're like, okay, cool, like, I'm gonna live for my family and I'm like, that becomes my goal in life. Whereas like, back in the BCs, they didn't have like fucking like Netflix and chill. They're like sitting there at night, like fuck, like looking up at the stars. Like, God damn it, why am I here?
Well, here's and then I'll end on this and then we can go into our own what we think. But I do believe that what's real to you, it's got to be real for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know who said that. I'm sure millions of people have said that. But But why is it not real in your head? It's still real.
Well, no, it's also.
Does that make
like,
sense? Meaning, as far as augmented reality and that sort of thing, whatever is true in your view, I guess is your own reality, right?
Well, to one of the points that the guy was saying, there's like these infinite versions of reality. Well, like in one sense, that's true. There's 8 billion different realities right now.
True.
Like my reality is completely different from yours.
Yeah.
We may like see and experience the same things, but I see things and experience things much differently than you.
Yeah.
And for myself.
That's a very good point.
There's no way to say like you can't. Who am I to say like it's? For example, I love sushi, but if you hate it, I'm like, well, you clearly are a fucking simulation. It's like this shit's amazing.
Stupid too.
I know, and you have poor taste in life, idiot.
Yeah.
But like you can't force. They can't
right.
force like any sort of view onto another person because they're different.
Yeah.
They have a different reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
now in the sense of is this? Now I know we went down a very deep philosophy hole, right? But in the sense of is it being simulated? Meaning, is it a mask in front of our eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Is it by some other external force happening?
I have an interesting take.
Yeah.
I think it's a simulation in a sense that not what we're thinking when we think simulation. When we think simulation, we're thinking computer program. We're thinking, like things are being projected out for us to view, and this is what our life is. But I do think that
Blinds.com's Black Friday sales event is happening now with our best deals of the season. Let our design experts help you make the perfect selection for your home on your schedule. We can send free samples right to you and handle everything from measure to install. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Save up to 50% site-wide, plus doorbusters, and a free professional measure at the Blinds.com Black Friday sales event now. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.
at a very extremely high level, we're being shown and we're being given what they want us to know and want us to see. So in that sense, we're in a simulation where it's like
a social simulation.
Exactly. It's like almost like you think that you're in complete absolute control, but you're being like all the data and everything that's being curated and force fed to you is being controlled. So in that sense, we're in a living simulation.
I see.
We're not in a computer. We're not in a electronic simulation. We're in a living simulation where
I get it.
You'll never be able to escape because all the data that you can get is what's being handed to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you're being fucking it's almost like imagine being like a fucking gerbil. Or like a hamster, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm going to run this fucking wheel, and I'm going to get out of this bitch. But like, it's like all being like, you're being locked into a box that you obviously you have free thought and it gives you the apparency of like this unlimited freedom. But from a very high standpoint, it's like, you're only going to get this.
Yeah. You can still be tricked.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, I can't subscribe to the simulation.
To the
theory.
video game type-esque.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think, it's kind of like what you were saying, kind of like whatever's real to you is going to be like, that's your reality, right? So to me, it's like everything that I experience and that I see and it's in front of me and et cetera, like that is just the reality. There is no external manipulation. There's no external influence, nothing like that. But I do feel that, man, in the future, it's going to get freaky crazy because like virtual reality, augmented reality type shit that's coming out already, or that's already out.
Yeah.
Like the goggles, Meta and Apple goggles. I haven't actually played around with them myself. I should get some motion sick, by the way.
Really?
Like anything like that.
Dude, I've done it. I have an Oculus. I don't get to play hardly ever because my life, it doesn't allow me to. But when I do, that's just fucking.
It's pretty cool.
Dude, there's this one game I played.
I've never done it.
You should have fucking brought it today.
5 minutes and that was like.
Dude, there's this fucking game, and it's like you're on this like abandoned base on Mars.
Yeah,
and like you like going and exploring.
So
dude, I remember, I'm like running, and it's like hella dark, and then like a fucking a red light turns on, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I look behind me and I'm like, I literally like pull the goggles off and I'm like, okay, I'm in my house. Like I'm not fucking about to get like abducted in this shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
No, my brother-in-law brought that one day and we were playing with that shit. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
But
it trips you out. Like after a few minutes, like
Yeah.
you're in that world, dude.
And you can see
You
how,
really, like, you really get
you're
like invested.
that is your reality.
and
for
you can
sure.
see it in 50 years what it would look like.
Oh, dude, it'd be fucking hella immersive.
Have you
bro.
seen like the videos or even played around with the Apple, goggles, whatever they're called? Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you've seen the videos.
Where I saw
You're
the
like,
test
you're like
video.
taking a shit and you're like, put
Yeah.
them in the mountains.
Yeah, and you're like, turn the TV on.
People are walking
do
around
this.
already with that, like walking around the city and all that shit. But when I saw it, I thought I was like, that's pretty cool. Like you can have a big ass screen, you can have your other screens over here. And like,
I wish I had it on right now. I'd be watching the
I know,
game.
right?
And like,
oh, so that's what I was gonna say. I went to the CES show in Vegas, years ago, and they had that, and I put them on, and like it was the NBA
Courtside.
app or whatever it is. Yeah, courtside.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so
cool.
fucking amazing.
You're like,
That's
we'll
rad.
never
It was so
buy
real
tickets ever
too.
again.
So yeah. So, anyways, my point is like I could see that in the future. I think we are
getting
gonna
to
like
that.
blur the lines.
Yeah.
But see,
That we might get to a point where we might not even want to live in the real.
that's what I was gonna say. It'll be
World.
like there's a movie about that with fucking Bruce Willis. It's called like
yeah.
I forget what it's fucking called. It's an older movie.
Yeah,
Really?
it is.
Oh, yeah.
12 Monkeys?
No, that's a great movie though.
Yeah.
It's solid.
I know what you're
nothing
talking
to do
about.
with virtual. It's like
Sorry.
completely not
I'm like, what are we
I'm like,
talking about?
What does that have to
Bruce?
do with anything?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
know what you're talking
It's
about.
called
I forgot the name.
fuck. Like they pretty much you live like you go in and like you like operate in a different body. It's like
Really?
Yeah.
Not Looper.
no,
No.
that doesn't have Bruce.
That was cool.
Oh, it does
Yeah,
have
it
Bruce
does.
Willis. Yeah,
That's a cool one too.
That is a good one. No, but I do think that it would get to the point. It wouldn't be like, oh, you're being forced into it. It'd be people
Yeah.
who are like, this is way better than my life.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do this.
I think we all
So-
play Call of Duty, right?
I used to.
You didn't play?
No, I've never played.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, me and you
No,
used
I
to play
played
all the time.
I played the original one where you stormed Normandy. It was like 2001.
Called it like-
Yeah, it was like, you know what I mean? You're
You
in
never
the,
played Black Ops?
Me and
No,
Sean
never
used to,
played
yeah,
that.
me and
Yeah.
Sean used to play for hours,
I
and then like all
fucking-
by myself, I would play like
Dude, I would, like-
I'm talking
Really?
about hours
Dude,
all night
I'd be
long.
sweating. I'd be like sitting up fucking.
But my point I was gonna say is like you start to get to a point where you're like, or even Grand Theft Auto back in the
Oh,
day,
dude,
I would play that for hours, right? And you start to like drive around, and you start to like kind of even
No
think,
way.
yeah, you start to think about like how the video game is. I did
Really?
Dude, well, when I
well
used-
when it starts to like I don't want to say brainwash, but you know what I mean, like
secondhand. No, like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You,
You just
you've been
start
playing
to,
for
like-
hours, and then you're just thinking about it, and you're like, oh yeah.
Well,
it's
you
almost
put
like
your-
that dream thing that you were talking about. Like it's almost like you're living in
the dream
that
of the dream, the
dreamlike.
Yeah. Which one's
fucking-
real and which one's not
Yeah.
real?
I mean, I have had dreams where like you ever had a dream that's so realistic? It's like you're
Totally.
It's like it's
Yeah.
Totally.
It's fucking. I had to like check that I'm like that.
Yeah.
fucking slam. Okay, I'm actually.
Sometimes
here.
I would like something would happen with somebody, and then I'd be mad at them.
Yeah, fucking
fuck you, dick.
Talk to my wife,
and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I had a dream about you.
Oh,
asshole.
baby, I had a dream. I had a dream that I saw this other girl. Why are you fucking cheating on me?
No, it's not that. It's she has a dream, and my wife has.
Right.
She has the
worse.
most specific, and she'll tell me, "Oh, I had this dream." I'm like, okay. And then she gets in this whole detailed thing. We were at a party. I treated her like shit. I'm like boning her friend. And I'm like, I'm literally right here. What are you talking about? And she's like, you're such a piece of shit. I'm like, okay. But her dreams are hella specific.
I love it.
Pinpoint details. I'm like, I think I was on a beach in my dream. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, yeah. My dreams are only like fucking like 30 seconds. And then I like wake up. It's only like the last 30 seconds.
Don't dream.
Yeah.
What is your take though, Eric?
This is gonna be strange, but
Does Eric actually believe a conspiracy?
I believe there's something else out there. I believe
something else up where. Elaborate.
No, I don't.
Please
believe
elaborate.
I don't believe it's the same thing.
Say it.
I don't believe it's the same thing. But here's what I know. Here's what I know is there's got to be something more than this.
Like
for sure.
someone,
100%.
I don't know.
Some
just
being more?
some world, some thing,
Say
some knowledge, some like some
aliens?
lies,
like an alien.
No,
Like alien.
no.
Like,
I mean, I feel like through time, philosophers are trying to figure out what it all means.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like there's some lies, and somebody lied, and I'm not saying these philosophers lied, but I'm saying there's something wrong.
Well, I mean, I think,
and I'm mad about it. I don't know what I'm mad about, but I think, do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's something else to this world.
There is. 100%.
Yeah.
I
like
fully
that.
agree.
Okay.
I fully
So
agree.
I don't know if it's a video game and we're all fucking VR'd and stuff, but I do call it religious, call it whatever you want, but I believe there's something else to the world.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like
that.
that. I like that too.
And I'm gonna keep it that vague.
Okay.
I'm gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
Eric's like, I believe that I believe things.
I'm just saying it's so it's I don't know. I'm getting older or whatever, but you see that there's more to life than what we know.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think I think it's extremely conceited and insane to believe that it's you like have it all defined. That's why I'm like, dude, don't get me wrong. I love science. I love physics. I love all that stuff. I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating.
Right?
But like, the physicists are possibly the most conceited motherfuckers that have ever existed. We know it. We fucking know it. We don't fucking know shit. That's why I like Neil deGrasse Tyson, because even though he like talks a big game, he still's like, we know like maybe like a fraction of a 1% what the fuck's going on. Like, we don't know shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, there you guys go. That's our episode tonight. A big shout out again to Jaden.
Yeah, don't be pissed. Dude, don't be pissed at us, Jaden.
We do
sorry for the
appreciate
wait.
it. Just so you guys know that the rich person status, we've got quite a few of them, and they really keep the show going.
They really do.
Thank you guys.
You guys are the shit. You guys are the best.
We
And this
really
is not
appreciate it.
this is not to shit on our other patrons. We love you too.
Absolutely.
It's just like they're paying for like a year's worth of your Patreon every month.
So it's awesome, and
they're the best.
And truly, I don't mean to be all like weird, but a lot of them have become our friends.
Oh, dude, 100%.
So,
I talk to those. I talk to those dudes more than I like. Then I talk to, well, not you two, but everyone else. In my life. More than I talk to my mom.
So we just really appreciate that, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yes, and as always, nighty night.
Hey guys, are you obsessed with us?
That's cool.
I am.
Can you just
like
not
that.
get enough?
That's all right. We don't blame you.
We just launched a Patreon and Spotify exclusive content. There are 2 ways you can sign up for exclusive content. The first is through Spotify. There's a link in our profile description that links you to the Spotify premium page. And that's only $2.99 a month. And it gets you an ad-free experience, and it gets you extra episodes that come out every month. The other way is through our Patreon. All you got to do is go to Patreon and search The Conspiracy Podcast, and you'll find us. There are many different levels there. all giving different amounts of content.
And you get a lot of bennies with this, like maximum bennies. No ads.
You get some exclusive discounts on our merch.
Oh yeah, you get access to our. We had a Discord.
Yeah.
You want to like talk to us in real time?
Do you want to yell at us constantly live?
Yeah. Do you want to have free access to cuss us out without any repercussions whatsoever?
Or just simply suggest a new episode that we got to do.
There you go. And on top of it, you get 5 free mini episodes right out the gate.
And then one a month from then on.
What is a mini episode real quick?
A mini episode is basically a conspiracy or a mystery where it just doesn't warrant a full hour-long episode.
So go to conspiracypodcast.com/Patreon.